All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about what I think is the number one most undervalued Bitcoin miner right now in June of 2023. So I want to go through that stock, talk about what they're doing. They've had a huge journey over the last year. They've made some monumental changes, and I think it's left them very, very undervalued. I don't think the market's paying attention to this Bitcoin miner, so we'll go through their May operational reports, and I'll bring you up to date on just exactly what it is they're doing and why I think that they are so undervalued. Okay, so the Bitcoin miner I'm talking about is Iris Energy, stock ticker IREN. This has a very, very low volume of trading. So I know that this is a Bitcoin mining company that for right now seems to be going under the radar. So there's not a lot of activity here. I'm not sure a lot of retail investors are up to speed on what's going on here. I know some people are up to speed on this. I know a bunch of our members have talked about this stock at great length and they are investing in this stock. So again, this is not financial advice. You guys need to make your own buying decisions. So the volume on this is very low. This trades at less than 1 million shares a day on the average, and some of the other Bitcoin mining companies have a lot more institutional adoption. They have a lot more daily trading volume. So for whatever reason, Iris Energy just has not had its turn yet. I don't know if the market's waiting for them to prove themselves, because if they are, I think they're not paying attention, because the last 2 months in a row of operational reports, they have done exactly what they said they were going to do, and they are transformational in my opinion. So I'm going to go through what those are. So you'll see right now this stock's trading at under $3.50. This puts it at around $190 million market cap. March of 2022, when the Bitcoin miners had a big pullback at that point, this was a $920 million market cap company. So in August of 2022, and that's when Bitcoin had a little bit of a relief rally and got back up to $25,000. So that is less than Bitcoin's trading right now. Bitcoin's at around $27,000 right now. Iris Energy got up to a market cap of about $320 million. So right now they're at about $190 million, so still significantly less than that point in time. And later I'm going to show you why that's a very important comparison. If you enjoy this content and you want to help the channel, you can hit the subscribe button. It does help us in the algorithm a lot, so it's much appreciated. Also, you can smash the like button and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Okay, let's get to the operational report. Iris Energy announces monthly investor update for May of 2023. This report came out yesterday. So a few highlights here. Average operating capacity increased by 39% to 5.5 exahash. This has been their plan, and now they have completely executed that plan. Average operating hash rate, 5.51. So their goal was 5.5 exahash. They've gotten to that, just a tiny little bit past that. Okay, now this is the number that I think is extremely important. Bitcoin mined, 508 Bitcoin mined in the month. That is their all-time record for any month in the history of this company. They're now the number 4 highest producer of Bitcoin out of all the Bitcoin miners. Only Marathon, Riot, and CleanSpark are ahead of them. Those have been the top 3 all year this year, so 4th place has kind of been coveted. There have been several different companies switching in and out of 4th, but Iris Energy just made a big push. They are now in 4th place from Bitcoin production standpoint. Okay, now I want to take a look at their monthly operation over the last year, because you're going to see this was a company that was growing and growing, and then all of a sudden they fell off a cliff. They had to completely reorganize their company. This is one of the reasons their market cap dropped so much. However, I don't think people understand they have now reorganized. So in my opinion, I'm going to show you why I think they're a much bigger, much better, much more financially sound company. That's why I'm calling this the number one most undervalued Bitcoin miner in the month of June 2023. So now obviously if they were to double this month, that would change this situation, and they will have caught up in their valuation, and maybe next month somebody else will be the most undervalued. But for right now, this is the one that I'm adding to. This is not financial advice. Just because I'm adding to my position in this doesn't mean that you should. So please do your own due diligence and make your decisions for yourself as always. But you're going to see in October of 2022, they mined 448 Bitcoin. So that was a big increase. That was their all-time record by far. They were ramping up this organization in a big way. They just had one problem. They had over $100 million in debt. More than half of that was due in the next 12 months, and they just were not going to cash flow. They didn't have the ability to pay that debt off. So they had to make some big decisions. They were structured in such a way where they were able to walk away from all of that debt. Now, you can see they had to give a lot of their machines back it drastically reduced their production. They went from 448 Bitcoin mined in October all the way down to 151 in November, and they bounced around down at these low numbers for about 5 months. But what's happened since then is they've gotten themselves back up to 5.5 exahash, which is their all-time high. That's bigger than they were back in October of 2022. And the other significant difference is when they were this big in October of 2022, they had over $100 million in debt. They now have zero debt. So they were able to restructure their entire world. So going into the halving, they're looking to have no interest expense. They have no debt principal to pay. So this drastically helps their cash flow situation. And obviously that is going to become more and more important as about a year from now, the reward for Bitcoin mining is going to be cut in half. So just a couple quick things from their investor presentation that they put out in May. So they had talked about going from 1.7 exahash to 5.5 exahash. Well, they were able to do that. That is now complete. They did that in just 12 weeks from February 13th. So that was an awful lot of expansion to do in a short period of time. At this point, Iris Energy has done what they said they were going to do. They're at 5.5 exahash. They've mined 508 Bitcoin, which also means they were highly efficient. So just the straight equation of the number of Bitcoin mined by the number of exahash that they have, Iris Energy has been among the leaders, and this will once again put them at or very near the top of the leaderboard in efficiency. So if I go back and look at March, you're going to see Iris Energy was in third place, but just ever so slightly behind the leaders tied at first, which were Hive and Bitfarms. So a virtual three-way tie for first place. Okay, so they report their electricity cost per Bitcoin. So once a quarter, I do tie these all out to the financial statements and give an update of cost per Bitcoin, but they're saying they're at about $11,900 per Bitcoin. So that's just about average. There are a few companies that are more efficient than that, but this does put them kind of right in the sweet spot. Between $11,000 and $13,000 is where most of these companies sit right now. And obviously at Bitcoin 27,000, that allows for nice profitability, nice cash flow. This company's cash flow positive. I would expect them to actually have positive earnings by the end of the year. Here you'll see in their investor presentation, this was their journey up to 5.5 exahash. Through optimization, they're going to add 0.1 exahash, and then they're going to add an additional 20 megawatt data center at Childress. That's going to add 0.9 exahash. So that's their short-term goal to 6.5 exahash. That's supposed to happen in the third quarter of 2023, so we should expect to see that shortly. And then here, strong liquidity, $54.8 million in cash, and I've highlighted no debt. So that is absolutely crucial. The Bitcoin miners that have gotten rid of all of their debt or never took any on in the first place are the ones that are best positioned, in my opinion, at the halving to continue to have the cash flow to get where they're going. One more quick piece of this puzzle. Iris Energy has a lot of room to grow their existing operations. A lot of the Bitcoin miners are running up against a brick wall. It's getting harder and harder and harder to find access to facilities that have long-term, sustainable, affordable energy. So Iris Energy has this facility at Childress. Right now, it's just starting. So you're going to see progress update. Initial 20 megawatts commissioned. But you're going to see in the headline here, this facility has a total of 600 megawatts of total capacity. So this allows them years of growth right here at the Childress facility. So they're set up to continue to grow. So all the pieces to me seem to be coming together. This company's in the best spot it's ever been in my opinion, right now. Okay, so one more thing to take a look at before we go look at the stock chart for Iris Energy. This is market cap by Bitcoin mining company. This was as of May 26th, so this is a couple of weeks old, but it's still very, very close. You're going to see Iris Energy is way down here in 10th place from a market cap standpoint at $191 million. Riot is just pushing $2 billion. Marathon's at around $1.5 billion. They're actually up from here at 1.6 or $1.7 billion. But all these other companies, so Iris Energy mined more Bitcoin than Cypher, which is at $595 million market cap. In my opinion, this company could very easily double and still fit nicely into this chart right here. That's without Bitcoin going to the moon. This is how much, in my opinion, they're currently undervalued versus their peers. So if we take a look at their chart, you'll see they are off of their all-time lows. All these Bitcoin miners hit their all-time low somewhere around December 28th or December 29th of 2022. So this got all the way down to $1.04. That was its all-time low. So they are up about 225% in the course of the year 2023, basically from December 29th. So that's a big move to the upside, but it is not keeping up with their peers at all. And what I want to look at, if you remember, we talked about this price point in August of 2022. Now remember, in August of 2022, they mined a lot less Bitcoin than they did this month. Also, they had $100 million in debt that is now gone, and Bitcoin was at a lower price than it is today. So really, in every way measurable, I think this is a better company. This company would have to pull double to get back to its valuation from August of 2022. And remember, that's when Bitcoin was at $25,000. So I've explained to you all the differences, the changes they've gone through. This has been a massive evolution for them. I think they're a much, much, much better company than they were in August of 2022. Yet, their stock needs to double just to get back to that price and really back to that market cap. So obviously, as always, we can take a look at the downside. You know, there's been a big run up in Iris Energy. So if for some reason Bitcoin takes a move in the wrong direction or Iris has a misstep of some sort, it is a 68% move to the downside, back to their lows from December. So we always have to take the risk in mind. So for me personally, I'm adding to this position. I think the reward outpaces the risk. But please, everybody, this is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. Make your own decisions. These are very, very volatile stocks. Thanks so much for watching. That is my update on Iris Energy for the month of May. And that's why I think they are right now the most undervalued Bitcoin mining stock. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell.